Is there anybody out there? Oh, let's get a better sound on this mic. Is there anybody there? Let's see. I'll check it in a minute. Hang on. Oh, I don't want to hear it. Oh, what's up, people? Oh, oh, yeah, I'll share a page in a second. Oh, man. I hope so too, Tawanda. Okay, let's take a look here. Close this, close that, close that. We'll share. Okay, I turn the music off. Okay, I just want to go through this. I want to see what it looks like. Let me take myself out of here. I am miserable. This is the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. They got this stent in me, and I'm already having to move around on a cane because of my back. They got this. I went in because my kidney was swollen up. I had a 10 millimeter stone. I've been passing stones since the middle of June. This is like the sixth one. They just keep making them. Yeah, I did turn it on. Does it really? Let's do this. Let me see if I can fix it. Sorry, I gotta mess with this. Anyways, I go into the hospital. Does it still sound bad? I go into the hospital and because my kidney was swollen up, and you can see it from my back. It looked like I was pregnant in my back. It was red, and then I had this 10 millimeter stone. And the first emergency room, the first time they said, "Hey, you got a 10 millimeter," they want to send me home. Yeah, they wanted to send me home, and I didn't agree with that, so I went to another emergency room, and the doctor said that's got to come out of there now. You know. So they transferred me over to another place. Actually, I drove over to another place that night, and they said they give me the cystectomy. You know, that's where they go in and shoot some of it out, and they found a couple more when they did that. And they put the stent in me. And I think it's I think there's something wrong with the stent because Oh man, I can't. It's like it's more painful than stone. What? I don't get that out till Thursday. And then on top of that, I'm gonna show. I want to show some of this stuff because I guess for people that don't like me, I guess karma is. Let me see. Let me see if I can just present that whole thing. Okay. Now I'm gonna go through this because I want people to see. Because I'm gonna go through this whole process with people. Because I really think that I'm having some kidney failure. There's no reason for me to keep making these stones over and over. They're big ones too. In June, I passed an 8, a 4, and a 2. And then 3 weeks later is when I've got this 10, and there's another one that's growing. It's that's caught in my kidney. But I want to show some of these medical records just in case anybody's going through it, and I don't care. If somebody wants to harass my doctor, you can do that. I'll do that. Let's see. Here's my visits recently. This one I got. This is my follow-up. All right, this is where I get the thing pulled out. This is when they're going to work on my back. This one I had to cancel with this urologist because they placed the stent and he was going to do a workup on me. So I had to cancel it and I'll go see him on the 24th. Here's my surgery right here. The notes on it. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Flank pain, blah, blah, blah. 2 days ago, yep. Blood in urine, blah, blah, blah. There's 10 millimeter stones. And the renal failure is what I'm worried about. They discharged me home, but I went to a different emergency department, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Yep. See, I want to show. It was about a 6 event at that time. But this isn't the worst thing that's going on. I just want to. This is actually what these kidney stones are doing. Is they're preventing me from getting the back surgery that I need. I found in mid-June that I've got osteoarthritis in the middle of my back. I've got osteoarthritis in my hip. I knew I had degenerative disc disease, but now the L4 is slipped onto the L5, and in between the bone on bone, it's also touching the nerve, and part of the L5 is on my spinal column. So walking is a bitch, and it just came on all of a sudden. I've always had a bad back. But I went to my doctor's office a couple different times, and he's like, your gait is extremely bad. And I said, yeah, I know. It's hard for me to get around. I'm having to grab the walls and stuff here in the house. And he said, well, how would you feel if I prescribed you something to ambulate with? And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, well, I could get a walking cane. And, I'm like, the first I thought is like I'm an old man or something like that. But he brought one in, and I stood up with it, and I walked around with it, and it really does help. So when I leave the house, I take it with me. And it does help a lot. So, but anyways, down here, yeah, that's a long time ago, so I don't know why it's still there. I don't do that. This is some of the medicine that they had me on for some of this stuff, and some of this this is for the arthritis. That is Elevil, so I can sleep at night, which it doesn't work. This is for high blood pressure. That's for pain. The niacin is all this, and there's some that I have that's not even listed here. And I'm working down, blah, blah, blah. I want to show. So I want to show what he did with PMH. Mild leukocytis. CT stone revealed that ref 10 millimeter, and it was stuck in the upper part of the. And then there was scattered small calculi, so it had some around it. I got the cystectomy, the retrograde pyelogram, the uteroscopy, the stent placement, the laser therapy, the stone extraction. Now, what they're doing with this stone now, they pulled out a 1 millimeter stone, and they're going to take it and study it and try and find out what it is that's causing me to repeatedly have these kidney stones. Yeah. It said I was pain free with stable vital signs. I just told him, I told him it wasn't hurting that bad. But then she sent me home to follow up in a week. But that didn't. That's not what happened. So I came back. Yeah, that is what happened. My bad. He wants me to come back to my primary care physician and to get the thing out. That's what I mean. But that's what they did there. Then to take it out, it's sort of like another surgery because the stent is in my kidney and it's sitting in my bladder. It's got a ring on it in my kidney. It's sitting on my bladder, and they actually have to go in through my old hoo-ha again, and they just kind of grab it and then they pull it out. Then I pee all over the place and blood goes everywhere, and I should feel fine. But my problem is, if I keep making these, this is what if I keep making these kidney stones, and they're 8 and 10 millimeters, because I made a 10 millimeter. My body made a 10 millimeter kidney stone in less than 3 weeks. And if they keep making them, I can only undergo so many surgeries. I definitely did not like the anesthesia. They used Proferil on me, and that is about the closest to death. I did not like that at all because I was I'm laying there waiting on my dryer to shut up. I'm laying there and I can see all the surgery stuff. I can see the surgeons. I see them getting ready. They've got me, they got me shaved up. They've got my body all sterilized. They got things over me except for where they need to work at. It's all just hanging out there for everybody to see. But anyway, and I didn't care about that. I was just having fun with them. I was making jokes with the nurses, I was like pretty vulnerable, with all these women and people that I didn't know. And I'm sitting there with my hoo-ha hanging out. But yeah, I didn't have nothing to be embarrassed about. But, So I was making little jokes and stuff, and I was talking to them. And while I was doing that, the anesthesiologist came in behind me where my drip bag was. I didn't know that it was the anesthesiologist. I just saw another doctor come in behind me. I was sitting there talking to them and blah, blah, blah. And then I was out. And it was just like, Beer. That is like the closest to death. But I had the best sleep ever. It took I woke up about 4 hours later. But this, and all this medicine right here, the hydrochlorothiazide, that I've been taking for probably 6 years for my high blood pressure and to keep my dryer buzzer from going off all the time. That's why it only goes off 3 times. There you go. But anyway, this hydrochlorothiazide is what I think is causing these kidney stones and kidney damage. Now, I also have cysts all up and down my kidney. My liver's throwing out too much protein, which I'll show you all this. My prostate is enlarged and bleeding. There's no cancer, but they gave me a cancer scare last month. There's no cancer, but you never know. So let me go back. That just shows the surgery that I just had. So let me go back here. I am in terrible pain. This is the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life. I want to go back to what I want to go. These kidney stones, like I said, they're getting in the way. They're getting their test results. They're getting in the way of them getting to my back. I'll go to test results here, and I want to see. This is all these. My glucose is up. All these. Okay, here is all this kidney stuff. It's stopping me from getting this, and then the prostate stuff. It's stopping me from getting the surgery that I need from the orthopedic. So let's show this. Okay, let me see the notes. I have to go to another one. Test results. Let me see here. I want to show it. I think it's this one that actually goes into detail. Severe disc height loss at L5, S1, L3, 4. What that means is the cushion in between the discs. It is like a shock. It's like a shock, and it helps us to bend and it helps us not feel pain. It keeps us from bone on bone. Well, the height loss is gone, and that shows that it's slipped down. That's what that means. This is the facet arthrosis, okay, through the lumbar spine. Now, this is a very mild. This is one doctor saw that, and he didn't go into much detail about it. So I'm gonna show this other one. I'm gonna go to where I got an MRI. Let's see. Right here. This is the first kidney stones, right? Those are the cortical cysts. No focal lesion. What that means in the radiology report is that no focal lesion means there's no masses, there's no tumors, blah, blah, blah. And this one shows just a little bit. This just shows a little bit more severe left lateral recall. There is one report where they go really deep into it and they show the osteoarthritis. But I've been seen by several different doctors for this. But this recess narrowing means that basically means bone on bone. I'm gonna see if I can find a different one. Sorry. Let's see. Knudsen did a pretty good one. He went into it because they keep this. See, had the date on this. All right, this is 10 years ago. This is when I first figured out I had back problems, and it goes into a list of it. But all of this, like at L1 and L2, is moderate right posterior disc herniation. It's 10 years ago. It's moderate and mild, right? A very mild central spine canal, very mild, right? At 10 years ago, it's all mild, right? But you can tell that something's going on there. Mild, L2, 3, mild. It all says mild 10 years ago, right? Now it's severe. Mild. It's all mild, all right? Mild central spinal canal stenosis is seen. Now it's severe stenosis. Questionable mild right exiting nerve root impingement. Yeah, that's the one that's sitting on the spinal column. So all the stuff I said, very mild. See how it says very mild, very mild, very mild. It's all mild. No central spinal cord stenosis. It's not in the center. It's down on the bottom. See, it's down on the bottom. It's not in the central. And at this point, it wasn't showing the osteoarthritis. These test results that are coming back. Let me see here. I want to see the one with the spinal stenosis and the osteoarthritis. But this is what I've been through. Let me see. My doctor's appointments have been ridiculous over the last. Those are all doctor's appointments, and there's more here. This is what's been going on with me. This just over the last couple months here. Boom, boom, 3, 4, boom. And there's some doctor's offices visits that I've been on that don't make it to this my chart thing. So I just wanted to show what I'm dealing with here. Let me drop this. Let me go back to stream. I'll drop this. Yeah. Well, yeah, Tawanda, what they're doing is that they're going to analyze that stone, and they're going to find out what's going on. And I got a cousin that only has one kidney, and he drinks like a fish. And he lives pretty decently. So I just want to show what I was going through here with this, and if somebody else has gone through it or been through it, it's nice to talk to people who have been through the same stuff. And then once they get this kidney, see what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid they're gonna pull this stent out, and I'm gonna pass this stone, and then another one's gonna grow in a couple weeks, and then another one, and then another one, and then they'll have to remove my kidney. But what Wanda's talking about. And if they remove that kidney, and whatever is making these kidney stones, it'll start on the other one, and then you don't have the option of removing that other kidney. There is dialysis. Some parts of the kidney grow back. But now I haven't even touched on the problem that I've got with my liver that's going on. It's throwing out too much protein, and my prostate is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I guess karma is kind of a bitch for all those that. Like every time I get up, it's like I can feel where that stent is, like it's a bruise, right? And then it goes down my leg. There's leakage. There's a sense of urgency. Every time I piss, it's blood. It's ridiculous. I've never been this sick in my entire life. I've never lost shit. So I did get some help from the community because I haven't worked since the middle of June, second week of June. Because with my back, I couldn't do my one job, and they cut my hours down to nothing. And then with these surgeries, I had two jobs. I can probably go back on September the 4th, but if something's going on with my kidney in my back, and I've got all these doctor's appointments stuff, I could probably go back, but I can't do more. Like I can't be up right now, even without this kidney stuff. I can't be up and around for like more than 2 or 3 hours before it starts incredible pain. And over the last 10 years, what I've been doing, hey, Nunya, over the last 10 years, what I've been doing, I showed that report that I had all these back problems 10 years ago. And what I've been doing is just taking pain pills, just shaking it off, just working. When there was a couple years ago, there was 7 months straight that I worked 7 days a week and didn't even have a day off. And that's what I was doing. I was just trying to get as much as I possibly could. I'm not college educated. I don't have any type of certain skills. So what I had to depend on is my ass and my back to get out there and get that money so that my family can have things. So, and I had no problem with that, working overtime. I don't know if Tawana's still here. She might have popped in. But that's what's going on. Now I've ruined my back, and I'm the medical record. I just want to show the medical record because I know with me not working, I am my savings is depleting because we're just trying to live like we normally live. There was a time in the second week of me not working that we actually went to a food pantry to get some goodies. Yeah, as it's embarrassing to have to do that, but you know what? Gotta eat. We gotta eat. So I have applied for Social Security disability, and I know that's a long process. And I've got an attorney that's going to help me get it based on my age. I've been in the same work field for about 40 years based on my age, and I don't have transferable skills. Based on the RFC, that is the residual function test that my doctor gave me. It shows how long I can sit, what things I can do. Now, some days I'm good, but probably 3 or 4 times a week, I'm flared up. You got to eat is right. No, it's not. You got to eat is right. I'm afraid to eat anything because I'm looking up all this stuff. And I'm looking at what causes kidney stones. And it's like all the things that I like. And there's like this one drug that I'm on. This is for arthritis. There's another one called, there's a pain pill that I can take. Diclofenac, something like that. I can take that. But when I go to look at it, it's known to cause kidney problems, so I'm not going to take it. I did pass one. You have to look at the video. I passed 3 of them, right? And then and 3 weeks later, I grew another 10 millimeter stone, right? So they gave me surgery, not yesterday, on the 16th. They gave me surgery to take that one out, and I've got a stent in me now. My body keeps making these stones. My body created a 10 millimeter stone in 3 weeks. The stones generally take a year or more to build up. My body did this in 3 weeks, right? And I got the stent, and it's actually more painful than a stone. Like I try to lay down, it hurts, but if I get up to walk, I can feel this thing. I don't want to go nowhere. I'm afraid to eat. I'm afraid to eat anything. Also, appetite. I can't sleep.
Every time I go piss, it's fucking pure blood. Sweating all the time. It's crazy. And I wouldn't wish this kind of pain on anybody. I got a message from on my Facebook from Ginger Lock. She says, "Don't you go getting sick on me." I said, "Hey, I learned from the best how to handle it. But God bless Ginger Lock. You know, I don't want to sit here and cry like a baby about it, but this shit hurts." But the main thing that's worrying me is, believe it or not, people, I make good money on my job. People try to say he doesn't, he lives in a trailer. I actually make good money, and I lost that job over this. Yeah, well, when I go back to the urologist on Thursday to have this stent removed, hey, Ash, when I go back, he was able to extract a 1 millimeter stone and study it and find out what's going on with it. What I think it is I think that I've been on this diuretic called hydrochlorothiazide. I've been on it for about 6 years, and they told me that it could cause kidney problems years ago. But that keeps my blood pressure down where it needs to be. Without it, my blood pressure is extremely high, and my legs will swell up. I don't know if people remember years ago when my legs were swollen up. I did a video of it, and I was showing that they were swollen, and that stuff makes spitting edema from chronic heart failure. I've got congestive heart failure. And I might have to decide whether I want to have high blood pressure or kidney failure here soon. So I don't know. What's up, Ash? You popped in early on my last live and you said, "Hey," and then you dipped out on me. Yeah, but I did. I put my PayPal out there. People have been responding to it. But I know that when you put your PayPal out and you ask for help, that you have to have the receipts. And that's what I put the receipts. The thing is, I'm not working, and I'm digging through my savings, and it's not going to last long. But I am waiting on Social Security, and I know I can fight for a year or so for that, but I did get a good lawyer. Yeah. So going live again is like just me venting. I'm sick of being in the house. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to go to work. When I go get to drive to the doctors, it's extremely painful. Nicole doesn't drive. She's been sick too. Plus, we're dealing with our teenager going to school, and the bus. I don't like the school she's going to. It's way across town. I drove her once, and I might have to drive her again. But she has to get on the bus at 6:40. She don't get home until 4:30, and we're dealing with all that stuff. Plus, I've helped my sister out a little bit. But anyways, I just wanted to shoot the shit. And I know that the only, anybody that's been through the kidney stone thing, anybody that's been through prostate stuff, back pain, or anything, it's always good to talk about it instead of sit there and worry about everything that can happen. Anybody that's dealt with Social Security, you see this video, let me know, because I don't know. I've never been in a situation, but it came under strong advice from my doctor. He like, you might want to look into disability because with this back problem. And I do know that the number one thing that they give disability out for is arthritis and back problems. That's the number one. I've got both of them, and I know that I'm studying the grid rules on Social Security, and the number one thing I got going for me is I just turned 55. And they would. So I'm 55, and that's a plus because 55 and over. And the fact that I've been in the same work field for 40 years, that's what I've done. I've been in the restaurant business, and in that restaurant business, you have to stand, bend, you have to stand, bend, lift, all that. You got to be moving on your feet. So the walking part of my back, I'm good. As far as the sitting down, there's no jobs in the restaurant industry where you sit, right? Unless they might want to say, well, you can roll silverware, right? But my RFC shows that I can't sit no more than like an hour and a half, or I have to get up or take a break because the sciatica starts. That's what I've got going on for me there. And the number one thing, and I didn't even know it, is that having this cane prescribed to me to emulate is almost a shoe-in for a direct Social Security claim to be approved immediately. Almost, depending on who I get. I know that Tracy tried to call me earlier, and I know it's late, and she goes to bed earlier. She goes to bed kind of early, so most of the time. So I'll try to get a hold of her later. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to go to bed and not die. Yeah, but for all those people I fought with, yeah, karma's a bitch, right? I feel horrible. So my email, I'm gonna put that in. For anybody that has any input on any of this stuff, put my email there because I do want to discuss it. I didn't dwell on it so much. I gotta turn this fan on. Oh. It is hot in here. That's my email. And I'm going to do a little bit of e-bagging too because I'm starting to be concerned about money. I have no problem admitting when I'm e-bagging. Okay. And I'll keep everybody posted. Sometime probably in September when I go to orthos when they'll start on my back if I'm not having problems with my kidneys because they won't mess with my back if I have problems with my kidneys. Also, the doctor told me that if he does what they call it, a spinal fusion or whatever they're going to do, that I have to quit smoking. I have to be nicotine free for at least 4 weeks before they'll even do the surgery, which is going to be a pain in the ass for my kid. So. Let me see here. Yeah. And I guess if I'm feeling good, if I'm feeling okay and I get bored, maybe I'll start putting out a little more content since I've basically got nothing to do. I'll put out a little more content, do some true crime, stay out of drama, quit arguing with people. I haven't spoken to Molly, but when she moved over to Kick, I went over there once and I watched. And I texted her about a week after that because I hadn't seen her. I texted her and I was like, just checking in to see how you doing. She's like, oh, hi, Brian. She hasn't messaged me back. So, I figured if somebody wants to talk to me, they'll message me back. So I guess that'll be it for that. If people don't have to worry about my association with Molly. I got a lot of shit for that anyway. And I can see clearly that, she kept saying I was like one of her best friends and all that. And blah, blah, blah. But, she doesn't care. My best friends are the ones that pop into my chat and say hello and are concerned about me. And those people, I'm also concerned about those too, so I give it back. At any rate, I'm gonna check out. Y'all be good and have fun. And expect me to do some content on here. Matter of fact, I think I got one on my phone that I can upload. I'll do some content outside of all this. But I don't want anything to do with drama. Piece of chicken grease, y'all.